This ain't my fight, this our struggle. Alright? And I'm struggling for my community and my family. Alright? That's Mayor Pugh. She gave me an award. That's Johnny Orleski. We talking about accountability. Office of Ethics and Accountability would serve the same function as the Inspector General in Baltimore. Do you agree? Yes, I do. And Johnny Orleski is supposed to be writing a letter for me pertaining to this, because I'm asking for the Department of Justice to investigate Baltimore City and Baltimore County courts. I'm going to talk about the policies and the parties, the Democratic Party. All right, y'all seen me at the commissioner's introductions. That's an Internal Affairs, Rodney Hill Internal Affairs Department. All right, I already got an open case there. You feel me? Dwayne G. Davis. That's my certified mail receipt. They came up in my house. Governor Hogan got this too. All right, so I don't want no misunderstandings about nothing. Mr. Hardin from the Department of Justice, because like I said, the commissioner said he wants evidence. I'm going to get a commissioner evidence, more evidence than he can stand. And you go to the state's attorney in Illinois, because it covers 2 states, federal and state violations. That's my green cards. It's Judgment Day, because this is Blackuary 365, and we talking about Dred Scott being black and white America. All right, I'm going to give you some black history. That's the Chief of Police Johnson. That's Waukegan, Lake County Sheriff's Department. You feel me? And that's Governor O'Malley. Because like I said, I started this a long time ago. It was about policing the police. That's Mayor Pugh. Had this for a long time. Been testifying when she was Senator Pugh. That's Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake. Because like I said, Governor O'Malley, Stephanie Rawlins Blake, Mayor Pugh. It's about the Democratic Party. It's about equal protection and due process. Freedom of speech. See the date? 2009. Feel me? Like I said, I'm going to pull y'all's cards. And I'm not an immigrant. That's a Privacy Act. Alright? These are the supporters of Shorties, the people that support what I'm doing. You feel me? And I got like 20 pages of supporters. You feel me? I was insured when I went to Illinois. I was kidnapped by the state of Maryland. I was kidnapped by the state of Illinois because I was making a documentary about your war on drugs. It's making you a documentary about being black and white America. Here it is. I hereby order defendant's personal property. All right. You took property on February the 9th, 2008, when you took it out of the police lockup. Same thing that you did in February 2011. You took my truck, my computer, and my evidence. That's Mr. Bailey. That's my judge. That's in December of 2009. Y'all supposed to return that property. Never returned it. That property was insured. You feel me? It was insured. It's my intellectual property covered under the Constitution. That's Chief Judge Turnbull. Just like I said, I was making a documentary about your courts and your racism in your courts. You feel me? Commode emotion. That's Judge Cox. He got a writ of sociority to take this strictly to the Supreme Court. Because like I said, this is about your courts and your racism in your courts. I'm going to give you a Black History Month and a Black History Moment. I'm going to give you Blackuary 365. You feel me? Denied. Denied. You feel me? Case file. Received. So we're going to talk about your courts and the corruption in your courts. We're going to talk about a writ of mandamus. You feel me? Fiduciary fraud, unlawful breach of and declaration of relief. Because y'all kidnapped me. You stole property from me, exposing the Democratic Party and the corruption in the party on your war on drugs. Complaint of fraud. Fraud in the court, there's no statute of limitations. Because like I said, we talking about ethics. And we talking about the ethics in the Democratic Party. And it was received. All right? So this ain't my first day on the judicial playground. It's a legal notice. When I first started this, like I said, I am Dred Scott. That's State Illinois versus Dwayne Davis, because I was kidnapped by the state. and charged with terrorism. You feel me? I was kidnapped on December the 24th and held till June. Feel me? I was illegally incarcerated. I was kidnapped by the state. And I made my complaint to the state, about the state. I'm a free man in one state and I'm a slave in another. I am Dred Scott. You feel me? Know the Republic. Notarized in June of 2011. Soon as I got out of jail, I filed this paperwork with y'all. We the people of the United States. Attorney Shellenberger. All right, knowingly. All right. That's Scott Shellenberger. Like I said, this is all about Scott Shellenberger. If Scott Shellenberger comes to testify in Annapolis, this is going to be evidence to dispute any of his testimony. I've been policing the police since 2008. You feel me? Business development, crime and policing issues, job development, other community issues, to be a voice for the voiceless. That's why I use this. You feel me? I'm a voice for the voiceless. President Obama asked for an investigation. That's Photoshop, but the question is still the same. Do black people have rights in white America? I am Dred Scott. That's Judge Boers, Judge Governor O'Malley, Judge Bell, Mr. Snowden. You feel me? Because like I said, I was making a documentary about race and racism. I am Dred Scott, 2010, long before I got locked up. You feel me? I informed all the persons involved of the legal action being sought against your court and your various elected officials in Lake County, Illinois. I'm an independent filmmaker, a business owner. You feel me? And I named y'all in this video for the FBI property report, Zion Police Department. You feel me? And you can get all this on YouTube at Shorty's Voice. Like I said, I got all this documented. I want it documented for a reason. I'm going to show you about being black and white America. I'm going to give you Dred Scott, the Supreme Court decision. This is We Shall Overcome. This is something that y'all all talk about, that y'all don't really know about. This is the struggle in which we came up to be where we are today. You feel me? We shall overcome. I'm going to give you some black youth history. You feel me? I'm going to give you Martin Luther King. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. And y'all pay attention to social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Y'all pay attention to the brutality that's been going on for 400 years, being black and white America. We don't need another Martin Luther King, another Malcolm X. We just need to start standing up against injustice. We shall overcome. You can get this in the CD-ROM. All right. I'm going to give you the content. These are the chapters. And I'm just going to give you some of it. This is so I'm educating you. You know what I'm saying? A learned individual. Knowledge of power. So empower yourselves. I'm just opening a book for you. You feel me? Learn something today. Learn about being black and white America today. Learn why they still treat you the way they treat you, because you won't stand up against it. Chapter 1. Like I said, run for office. These are your first senators and your first congressmen. Y'all can run for office and hold office. You feel me? I lead by example. I'm a black Republican. You feel me? I'm a black Republican because blacks were in the Republican Party. Learn something. Run for office in 2020. I did. I ran for office. See that? I lead by example. Lieutenant Governor. Internal Revenue Service. Because I wanted to file taxes. I want to make sure that everything is done legitimately. You feel me? Being black and white America. I asked for a federal and a state audit. You feel me? I ran for office. I just don't run my mouth. You feel me? May 2013. So when I say run for office, when I say stand up, yes, ex-felons can vote, ex-felons can run for office, and you can hold office. If you run as a Republican, you can run straight to the primaries and run against all these corrupt Democrats. You can take over the party. If you've been in the penitentiary, if you're an ex-felon, look a brother up, because I'll hook a brother up. We're going to show you what being black in America is. All right? I'm going to show you about the Ku Klux Klan, because you're talking about worrying about ISIS. No, I got to worry about the Ku Klux Klan. I got to worry about Shellenberger. I got to worry about the racism in America. I'll show you about being black in America. The Scottsboro boys. Like I said, I applied for his job. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? Well, we're going to find out. This is Blackuary 365. The murder of Emmett Till. That's our Freddie Gray. That's our Tyrone West. That's our Anthony Anderson. That's our Trayvon Martin. You feel me? The murder of Emmett Till. We're not supposed to bury our kids. Our kids supposed to bury us. You feel me? In God we trust. So when is God going to save us? Because he let them just walk. That's that white privilege that's been existing for so long. An all-white jury of all white men going to let you walk for killing a black man. You feel me? Like I said, The Death of Emmett Till by Bob Dylan. It's a song that Bob Dylan wrote. It was down in Mississippi not so long ago when a young black boy from Chicago town stepped through the southern door. You feel me? Your first march on Washington. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? To secure your rights, you got to fight for your rights. You got to stand up for your rights. Like I said, I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. We already marched on Washington. We marched in Alabama. We marched, but now we need to start fighting. We need to start fighting in the courts. Because if you're going to make any change in America, we're going to make a change in the courts. And this war on drugs is where we're going to need to start. Because that's where mass incarceration comes from. You feel me? School segregation ban. Impeach. That's because he made that change. Brown versus the Board of Education. That's where that change came from. And we got to keep that change going. You feel me? Rosa Parks and the Montgomery Improvement Association. You feel me? Some things is worth going to jail for. She didn't go with 1 million people. She went by herself. She stood by herself to stand up for all of us. Like I said, I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. I go to jail for the right reasons. And I did, to expose the corruption and racism in your courts. And I'm willing to go to court to prove it. Just like she went to court for the buses, I'm going to court for the courts and the racism in the courts. The right to sit, the right to be heard, the right to be seen. You feel me? The importance of the boycott. The Little Rock Nine. You feel me? And we're going to show you the new face of old Jim Crow. You feel me? Governor Hogan, Governor O'Malley. The racism that exists then exists now. Like I said, this is a movie and a documentary about being black and white America. Blackuary 365. The militarization of the black community. You feel me? It existed then and it exists now. You just resurging the old hate. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny me you know me in heaven? Like I said, I'm applying for his job. This is my application. Just like the Little Rock Nine. We're going to end this in the Supreme Court. We're going to take the war on drugs to the Supreme Court. We're going to take about being black and white America to the Supreme Court. Because black is a nationality in America. Black is a black card in America. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. We want to sit down. All right? Like I said, I go to jail for the right reasons. I went to jail in Illinois and I went to jail in Maryland to show the corruption and the racism in your courts, your bail bondsmen, the representation of the public defenders. How do you play with 3 cards with a stranger? That you working against the state's attorney, the public defender, and the judges to keep black America incarcerated. Talk about the war on drugs. Let's talk about the war on opioids. Let's talk about how you take black fathers away from their black families then and now. We don't need another hero. We just need another man to stand up. We don't need a man of the year. We need men of the year. We need all our black men to stand up. Not just one, all of us. You feel me? To be well spoken and speak out. Sit down for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Kneel for your rights. Do whatever you got to do for what's right. You feel me? Do what you got to do for what's right. care about pets more than you do people. And that ain't changed. You feel me? Racism still exists. And how you treat black people. You feel me? I'm just giving you a history lesson. Because he who knows his past can control his future. Sit down for your rights. Kneel for your rights. Stand for your rights. Riders in the storm. Excerpts from the Supreme Court. All right, the decision in Boynton versus Virginia, December 1960. Freedom riders encountered police and National Guards in Montgomery, Alabama. Because they was fighting for us to be free, and we still ain't free. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? Well, that's what this is all about. It's about the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan, how you never really did nothing to stop them. Because they're in your Senate, you're in your Congress, they're in your police department, they're in your sheriff's department, they're entwined in your schools, they're entwined in our lives. They just took the hoods off and put suits and ties on. But they still here. Their kids are here, their grandkids are here because you got generational hate. Generational hate. When you talk about ISIS, well, let's talk about the terrorism here. Let's talk about how you beat up people. How you bloody Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Bloody Sunday. Talk about how you militarize our communities. How you steal that fear. We should have post-traumatic stress syndrome. You feel me? And this is our history. And I'm just giving it to you. Giving you a crash course. If you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? This job been vacant for a long time. I think I'm qualified. Do you? Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I sure ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Not then, not now. Like I said, I don't need 1 million people to march. We need 1 million people to pay attention. Then we need 1 million people to act. We need the churches to get re-involved in our civil rights. You feel me? Instead of getting involved in our monetary rights. Instead of getting involved in making money. Because y'all still locking up black America. Y'all locking them up then and you locking them now. Same way in Baltimore. You feel me? Ain't nothing changed. 400 years and we still enslaved. 400 years we traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and we still a cash crop. And ain't nobody protecting us. Nobody protecting us. You beating us. You lynching us. Where do we belong? You burning us. And you still repeating that same hate. And that same hated speech. You still beating us. You still shooting us. And we still trying to assimilate into your society. We still trying to graduate from your institutions. Bombington, because that was Iraq. That was Chirac in the 60s. And that's how you treated our leaders. You feel me? And you paraded that hate. So you sick your dogs on us. On our old. To instill that fear. You feel me? Same thing that you're doing now. Like I said, if you deny you know me on earth, will you deny you know me in heaven? I want his job. Because now you locking up little black boys all over again. Police lead students to jail, protesting against discrimination. Now you locking up kids at 14 years old. So ain't nothing changed. And if you don't know your past, you forget your past. I know my past. I remember the water hoses. I remember your police department knocking us down. I remember us hiding in the schoolhouses. I remember your hate. I remember your hate. You deny you know me on earth, or you deny you know me in heaven. I remember Medgar Evers. So like I said, I picked up the baton. That's December 2008. That's my son. I buried my son. You feel me? So I'm not fighting for mine. I'm fighting for yours, mine, and ours. This ain't my fight. This is our struggle. So when y'all see me at these events, when you see me speaking out, when you see me holding these police accountable, I do it for a reason. Because you violating our laws. You violating your laws. And I'm going to put you on Front Street. I'm going to ask you about what you do in the community. You feel me? I'm going to show you what we do in the community. I'm going to show you the good in the hood. They were her property. Yeah, they were her property. We still are her property. We're still America's property. We were elected to represent the people and protect their rights. And that's what you're going to have to do. Protect the people. That's your job. That's your charge. And this is the case. So we don't have no misunderstandings about nothing. Due process and equal protections. City, county, state, and federal levels. You made me famous for toilets. I'm going to make you famous for all the right reasons. You can go directly to Senator Antonio Hayes and get my book. It's called I Am Dred Scott. Get it. It's a movie release. Get it. Evidence for a federal investigation. That's what I want. A federal and a state investigation. And we're going to make sure that all this is put out there. Because like I said, in loving memory of Corrine Davis. We're going to talk about everything and everybody. Because I've been policing the police long time. That's my job. And I did it for him. You feel me? The original toilet. So look that up. People versus Davis. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm an activist, not an actorvist. So Allie Smith, make sure that you tell everybody what's going on. That case is Pandora's box. It's about the war on drugs. And we're going to talk about the illegal war on drugs. We're going to mic check the room.